Alright, so today I'm going to demonstrate how to replace the battery on an AirPods case. Before proceeding, I'm going to advise that these are difficult to open and you probably could damage the case. It is possible to perform this without damaging, but it is extremely difficult because these things were not designed to be repairable. I cannot recommend proceeding unless you're okay with that possible risk, and be sure to wear proper PPE when applicable. The lip seen between the main housing and where the headphones sit will be our route of entrance. We have 3 spots of adhesive to focus on, first being in the front. The thin metal pry tool is great at fitting in the opening and breaking the adhesive. Don't worry too much about how far you insert the pry tool. Then the side has adhesive as well. I do not recommend doing what I do with the X-Acto knife unless you're fine with some damage. Something thin and malleable like a 10th millimeter steel would work best. Just ensure that no sharp edges are present. Lastly, the metal hinge has a clip that's holding us in place. I have found that the angled tweezers work great for this step. Wedge and twist like I show here. If you're trying another avenue of leverage, just be careful because the plastic housing is not very strong. With the headphone dock removed, we now have access to the battery. We don't have pull tabs on this battery, so some isopropyl alcohol will work. Just let it soak for a little bit. Using a plastic pry tool, we can lift the battery. Be careful of the ribbon cable running in the middle of the battery, which I'll show here. Snagging it can destroy the battery connection on the internal board. I also find it best once the battery is free to pull it out, so you'll have enough space to do that. The battery connection will probably have some glue on it. Very carefully pry some of the glue away and lift the latch on the battery connection. Since the glue was present, I had to use some needle nose pliers to remove the ribbon cable. With the battery removed, I like to do some cleanup of the glue that's on that connection point. Now the reassembly can commence. Always good to check functionality before closing out. Everything should slide back into place. And that is how you service the battery on an AirPods case. Damage from my X-Acto knife can be seen, hence my prior advice on this. I loathe the design of wireless earbuds. The batteries don't last forever, and constructing something like this really diminishes that goal of being environmentally conscious some of these companies like to portray. And it's not just Apple performing these practices. Anyway, until the next one.